Welcome from Teradix TV, the channel for the IT decision takers. Today we have a very inspiring client success story within a technology provider. We have Nelly, Head of HR Transformation at SAP. Welcome Nelly.
Thank you.
في الحقيقة احنا في Teradix TV we are having different insights from different technology leaders. But it's an added value today إنه we are talking about success story for a client organization across different countries, different departments for the HR digitalization within SAP.
Correct.
So احكي لنا أكتر what kind of challenge that you have faced when you started to think, okay, as an HR, we need to digitize our business process and to serve our internal customers in a proper way. So what was the objectives and what kind of considerations that you have started to think about?
Okay. Ahmed, first of all, thanks. Thanks for having me on the show. Maybe I will take a step back first to talk about why did we need to transform, okay? So SAP as a global software vendor has been on a journey, since 45 years and was known as the leader in software enterprise or enterprise software. But we were kings of the on-premise world, okay? And I think back almost 8 years ago, the trend in the market was changing. It was changing from the way our customers were perceiving the software, from the way they want to consume it. There was a big trend towards the cloud versus the on-premise world. Yes. So SAP as an organization had to transform its business model to become the most innovative cloud company on a global scale. And becoming, a global cloud company requires different skills, different mindset, different customer service approach for it, to be able to deliver in that sense. So we were going through a transformation, a business transformation to start with. Yes. And because transformation has a lot of different aspects, culture being an important part of it, business processes and business models is a second important part of it, and the technology is of course another third pillar. HR at SAP had to lead the transformation, so we had to start with ourselves. There were many imperatives for this. First is of course the trends that are happening out there, the digitization, the disruption that digitization is causing to businesses. Our employees and what they expect from us, the experience at work need to be seamless and as smooth as what you have at home. Yeah. And of course, as a software vendor, we were selling those solutions to our customers, and we wanted to enable organizations to become intelligent enterprise and to help them on their digital transformation journey. So we wanted to start with ourselves. Yes. This is the why we had to do it.
Yes, that's great. So. طيب دلوقتي ال HR digitalization within SAP is very challenging, and we can understand that because you are going to introduce two new parallel tracks of concepts. We talk about the digitalization from a process and automation, and also with the new HR practices with the new terms and the new functions. So how you did manage this kind of implementation and to introduce it to the audience and your internal customers?
Yes. So I think it's important to know that when part of the digitization is really to transform HR into kind of a business mindset and consumer first mindset, and that's also a cultural shift that we needed to do in HR. We tried to look at who consumes our services in the organization and understanding what these different let's say consumers expect from us. So we tried to segment the people who use HR services, be it employees, be it leaders, be it the executive teams, and to try to redesign, our services and our processes, taking their expectation into consideration. There were three important principles we adopted for everything we do in HR is how do we simplify, how do we standardize as much as possible, whatever can be standardized, so you can also have a consistent experience with HR services on a global level, and also how do you ensure customer satisfaction. And we do track and assess customer satisfaction for HR with our internal customers, the same way that SAP tracks our external customer satisfactions with our services. Now, it's easily said than done.
Yes.
So of course
it's
you review those processes, you use the technology, but most importantly is really how do you communicate, how do you enable, and how do you drive this change. So we did invest quite significantly in ramping up the HR. So we try to enable and communicate extensively within HR first.
Yes.
Okay, to enable that change to happen
The
within our
first.
own organizations.
Yes.
And then we also did the same with our leaders, because part of the transformation is to empower more the managers and the employees,
Yes, sure.
and also to provide more transparency. And that means that, okay, in the past, rather than waiting for HR to do something for you as a leader, you have now, through the power of technology, the ability to do it yourself.
Yes.
So how do we enable also the leaders to take accountability and ownership of this? And last but not least, our employees, because they were also impacted by the fact that today HR services are available on a mobile app, they're available on the desktop, they can do things without having to go for an HR business partner or for the HR services. So all of this needed to be planned as part of the process review as well as the rollout with the technology, and I think it is as important as putting the technology.
Impressive. So if we would like to cite something today, we have from SAP HR implementation, 3S I can say: simplify, standardize, and satisfaction, the customer satisfaction.
Correct.
So by doing this blend, you have achieved the agility in your HR digitalization mission. Congratulations for that. In SAP.
I wouldn't say, let's say we've achieved it, because transformation, as you know, is
ongoing.
a journey.
Yes, yes, thank you.
So we've achieved the milestones we wanted to achieve within the time frame we wanted to achieve, but it's an ongoing journey. So for us, really, the future is really how to continue to simplify and keep this customer first approach within HR. How do we leverage the cutting edge technology to drive better scalability without losing the human touch? And how do we really win the war for talent at the end of the day? Because with the rise of Generation I, or the millennials, you call them as you want, they somehow dictate the future environment and what kind of technology you will need to use as an organization in order to engage these employees, and creating that workplace of the future that is quite attractive to digital employees.
Yes. So it's very impressive too that SAP, before they start implementing this for their clients, they started to consider their internal customers first, and all the time they are moving with the customer-driven services, customer-driven needs, customer-driven processes. So saying this, you can achieve agility, because by the end of the day, this is what the client is waiting for. So of course there is a buy-in, there is a quick agile approval for the cycle, and we can accommodate this kind of change.
Yeah, I think what we also wanted to do going through the transformation in HR ourselves is really to become a reference for our customers.
Yes,
so
of course.
To be also the #1 Formula test Formula One test drivers, as we call it, for our own technology. So part of also what we do in HR, through our experience with the technology, we feed back to our product team, product development team, to talk about potential enhancements and upgrade to the consumer experience.
Yeah. Well, Nelly, it's very impressive and very rich, fruitful discussion today at Teradix TV about the HR implementation based on internal implementation before you guys selling to the client. Thank you very much for this impressive content, and thank you our audience for watching Teradix TV. See you on the next interview.
Thank you. Thanks.